Ready for some? Who's ready for some? Oh, windy. Oh, look at that beautiful shine. There we go. Who's ready for some? Boom, baby, boom. Rise and shine. It's your morning marijuana motivation time. I'm your host with the mostest, Mark Saint, and every morning I wake up and I'm glad to be alive. This morning's motivation is about an excessive heat warning that I got from a woman last night and the day before, just to reinforce that you get red flags. It's your fault if you keep hitting them and going down the hill with them and not learning from them. And this morning, oh, she got her battery. Cool. We walked away from a headache. Yes, bro. This chick was excessively heat warning, man. Like, following me here to the shop. I'm on overstay, talking about calling the cops because she didn't get her battery pack that she left with my friend. I didn't even know it was hers. I'm just trying to return it cordial. And man, there's some people that have a problem for every solution. You know, there are people that will always find a way to let their drama lead the way. There are people that really have no handles on this thing called life. And it's not my fault. You don't get to be a wife. You don't get to be a mother. And you definitely don't get to be my girlfriend. It was one of these things where, man, if it isn't these girls just trying to steal time, the meat, the money, energy, attention, and time, they come because they're afraid that to live their real life, right? They're afraid to actually go outside and be social, and maybe they kept themselves inside and were antisocial. So by the time the rest of us are being social, having the time of our lives in the sunshine, you know, going to these concerts, you know, they're big ass fucking artists. They're successful, and I'm around all my friends, and all of them are stopping to speak English with me and compliment me and say how awesome I am and how nice of a person I am and how much help I've been around the shop. And they made everybody stop speaking Finnish to come speak English with me. And you know, a lot of people are afraid to speak their second language, even though this is a very intelligent country and these people have all the capabilities of speaking the English. They were a little bit shy, and understandably, you know, if it's not your main language. But people were coming up to me telling me about their Grand Canyon trip and how much fun they had going through Vegas and America and how beautiful life is. And then all of a sudden I got to stop all of this because homegirl doesn't have her phone charged, doesn't know where to be, came down to the address, my phone's off, her phone's off, everybody's in stress, things aren't working out. And I'm just like, man alive, this is excessive. Mark, you have to stop dating crazy chicks. It doesn't matter how hot they are. It doesn't matter what they can do for you. It all matters about the vibe they give you. When you show up in life, are you a helper or a hinderer? You know, are you the type of person to bring solutions, or are you the type of person to show up and talk about all the problems? This girl couldn't stop telling me about her problems. Matter of fact, I think she was trying to make me into her psychologist, and she even used that against me, like, you got a psych degree, you should know better, or something like that. I'm like, I do have a psych degree, and you're not my patient. And I'm running out of patience with this shit, waiting for somebody to get on the ground, go through their bags, fill up their vape. I mean, we just met their parents, and my bag's stuck in their house. We're coming, they're being lovely. Mom's on my arm. I said, you looked like you were 20. You were partying like you were 23, like it was 1999. Everybody's doing just fine. All their kids are doing wonderful. Everybody's super happy. And this chick's pouting off to the side, not being affectionate, walking in front of me, walking in a whole block around me. Like, we couldn't be so further from the truth or further from each other. It was ridiculous. So by the time I'm headed home, she can't even walk with me or talk with me. I was like, listen, lady, you need to know about yourself since you have psychology. You know, it's one thing to just say, I know everything, I see everything. People that see everything need to see themselves. I'm trying to warn you. It was one of the things, one of my blind spots, but I needed to see myself the way I was treating other people, the way I was reacting to certain scenarios, the way that I would get triggered was all my own warning. I don't should be wearing a warning, island boy. But, how about that warning? This person has issues and keeps cutting me off when they're talking. That's a big red flag. When people can't finish, can I finish? Can I finish? The crab hands, the girls that are insistent, right? And not patient, but insistent. Like, we're going to do this right now. We're going to the lake right now. We're going to go get these kids some ice creams. We're going to fucking do all these things. And then it was just like the follow through was, oh, let's go check on the dogs every 4 hours. And I don't have the patience for it. And I had told her to her face, and immediately she let go of my hand. She went down on all the ground like this, went into the bag. Her parents are like, what's she fucking doing? She's like, I'll catch up. And now it's like, let me refill my vape so I can be even more scattered. Talk about someone that has lack of self-control. When you're puffing the vape because you don't know what's going on in your head, or you can't deregulate, or you can't even have a simple, calm conversation with people, then you're out of sorts. I keep telling people, tip me over and pour me out, right? Like, when you're tipped over, you won't be able to regulate your heart rate. You won't be able to regulate your breathing, and you won't even be able to regulate your thinking. Instead, it was just pure chaos. It's like, now you can't make it to the event. You could have got the free bracelet. These things are 300 euros a piece, but you weren't there. Your phone's off, and now you're telling me about all your life story again. Like, I had to borrow a stranger and then do this with this other person. Okay, but then I'm coming back. Then the concert was over. Now all my friends are putting attention into you, and now we're all focused on what's going on with you instead of enjoying our lives, man. Enjoying our lives, and that's what we should be doing. That's the biggest red flag, are people that don't know how to stop and enjoy. If they're still bringing up the past and letting that destroy their future vibrations, then they're just not healed yet, right? Excessive heat warning, they're not healed yet. So maybe they spent too much time being antisocial. Maybe they don't want to get into big crowds. There's a lot of things that we have to do that are tough for us, that are meant for us, right? It's meant for you to get out of your shell. It's meant for you to find a good time. All my friends are drinking champagne in the VIP room because they gave birth to the superstars, man. They're living the high life, just like I do. I'm gonna live the high life too. And it didn't matter what I did, dude. It didn't matter if I was calm with her. It didn't matter if I was direct with her. It didn't matter if we walked separate or walked together. This chick was gonna find a way to miscommunicate with me yesterday, and that's what ended up happening. So I'm grateful I got to talk to my bestie. She's like, what are you doing with these crazy bitches all the time? Why do you always got to find psycho ones? And I was like, it's not like I like to find them, but we do like to breed with familiarity. And I was saying that. I called myself out. I was like, you're a lot. And I normally end up fucking, she got all excited. You're a psychologist, like, I was like, some people want to play psycho games. They want to play with that. Okay, I can use men when I want them. Hey, I want cuddles, so I'm going to go have sex. I haven't had sex in 10 months. And like, me, but you're the one that broke the cycle. It was like talking with my ex all over again. Having panic attacks on our first date, red flag. Talking about their exes, red flag. Fucking their friends, red flag. Oh, he's my best friend. I want him to share his emotionality, and he wrote me all these things that opened up, so I gave him some pussy. And it was just like, your psychosis is so far out there, you don't even know that you're a narcissist. You don't even know that you're what's the word, neurotic. You can't see that your shit smells too, dude. And that's why I had to have this conversation. That's excessive. It's excessive to cry in front of strangers 6-7 times. It's excessive to have a problem for every solution. It's excessive smoke, nicotine, vape pens, and getting down on the ground, putting your stuff on the ground and having to take a time out. And like, no, when we have this conversation, we got to be face to face. I'm like, can we walk and talk? Because I'm trying to get you your battery and get gone. So that's what ended up happening. I went over here. She was trying to fucking kind of stock the shop. I was like, look, man, this is where I sleep. This is where I eat. This is where I make my money. And there's no way I want you coming in. What up, bro? I want you coming here starting shit. You know what I mean? So I told this bitch to fucking chill. She didn't want to chill. I'm like, hey, lady, don't come to the fucking shop causing fucking trouble. And she just didn't want to hear it. So I was like, fuck that. I'm going to go off to the side, smoke a spliff, chill it all out, let her do whatever she had to do. And by the time I came back, she was gone. I was calm. I didn't have to fight with anyone, and then therefore I can just give her her battery, just like my bestie said, tell her goodbye, and that's what I said. I said goodbye, and she said goodbye, and came and got her battery at like 4 o'clock in the morning, and I'm off on a new day with my wrist bracelet, digesting this chick that I made out with in the forest, did the photo shoot, but she didn't give a shit about the shirt. Matter of fact, I still got the shirt covered in her cat hair. These people don't care. That my friend Joanna had her hair with all the flowers in her hair. She's like, give this to your girl. They're all trying to give her hugs, find her, love on her, and all she wants to do is get down on her knees, put her shit on the ground, and slow people down. I'm like, I don't do that. I need to let you know. I don't have dogs. I don't have these little fake humans that I have to check on for every 4 hours. We didn't sleep. They should be asleep. And when we came back, guess what? They were asleep. But she still woke them up, brought them outside, and guess what? Brought them right back inside. And I said, why are we... Thank you, bro. Well, you got a fruit parfait, man. We're doing the morning motivation. I'm like, why are you even fucking... Why are you even like this? No, I'm not going to even have this conversation why you're like this. It's more of, why aren't you more free in these situations? You know what I'm saying? Why is it that every time I'm trying to come up with a solution, you're either walking away, don't have the patience to listen, I can't deal with you. Have you ever been with somebody you can't deal with, bro? Have you ever been around somebody that just seems to fucking want to fight? That's a big red flag too. People that just said, hey, you know, she kept talking about blame, and kept telling her blame is for fucking children. She didn't want to hear it. I was like, yeah, bro, kids have blame. As adults, we reason. We go like, yeah, everybody was tired, everybody was hungry. That tends to cause conflict. But no, she didn't want to hear any of that, bro. She didn't want to hear anything that I had to say, and basically I didn't have any patience for what she had to say. It was like talking with a drunk person. You're trying to make sense and rationality to someone that's on a different fucking planet in different vibration, and that's what happens. So I tried. She's beautiful, 30, should be a mother, and she's over there telling me that's why you're single. And I was like, whoa, huge red flag. When someone tries to psychoanalyze you, I'm like, let me psychoanalyze you. I said, you don't like it. It's like, how many men you got in your orbit? What's an orbit? I said, all these dudes that call you think that they're your girlfriend or you're fucking or whatever the fuck it is, friendships, whatever you want to call it. That's what I'm talking about. And she was just like, oh, there's been no one. I haven't had sex in 10 months, but this last week I needed some cuddles and some sex. So I'm like, go back to him. Go back to wherever you get your source from. Go back to wherever you came from. Here's your battery. Here's your life. And all the things that end up being excessive. I'm looking for somebody that enlightens me, lightens my load, and doesn't cause me issues. I think that that's what the universe was trying to tell me. Just like that loud warning right there. That kind of energy, like this is a lot. This is too much, excessive. And that's what my best friend told me. She's like, Mark, that's all excessive. You know, these girls that I go on amazing dates with, and then it turns into crying after, or they bring up their past too much and they haven't fucking found a solution, and they seem to have a problem with every solution. You're talking to a person that doesn't even use the word problem. I don't use the word problem. I use the word challenge. She didn't want any reprogramming. She was fine the way it is. And I'm like, oh, it's not that bad. Don't diminish me. Don't minimize my feelings. My feelings can be real. And I'm like, yeah, but feelings change. And if you want to obsess about the bad feelings and obsess about the past, then you're not living in the now and you're losing all your power. She didn't want to hear it. And that's what it is. People that don't want to listen, right, aren't people that want to learn. And people that think they know it all are missing the part of them, right? They were looking for blame. So it's my fault I wanted to check on my dogs. Yeah, that was a bad decision. It took an hour to go check on dogs that should have been asleep. And she's like, I don't know why I have to explain this to you. And I'm like, I don't know why you have to check on your dogs every 4 hours. We weren't on the same page. And that's all it was, dude. You know, some people are different directions in their lives. Some people are on different levels, and that's just what it is. There's levels to this shit. And the level that I attained was my own self-mastery, you know. controlling my emotions and not getting into fights with people. And I was smoking joints with her. I even gave her some free weed, and I was being a gentleman. I didn't, she's like, don't touch me. And I'm like, fuck, we don't even have to touch or talk, bro. Hell, we didn't even walk together. It was almost like a kilometer away, and she basically walked by herself. So it's weird when you know someone and they're walking 10 yards in front of you, or they're stopping behind you, or you're walking past each other. It's like two ships in the night, not even close to being in the same port, let alone on the same planet. You know what I mean? So I was just like, let me smoke, let me chill out, let me figure it out. And by the time I figure it out, then I can have some peace of mind to be able to walk away peacefully without somebody trying to throw a rock through the window or call the cops. Bro, did I tell you that part, bro? She told me she was gonna call the police. Juice, do you hear me? She said she was gonna call the police for a battery pack, like total drama queen. And I'm like, that's the last thing that I need, is somebody to fucking bring the police in on my situation, in on my life, to cause me stress, waste of energy, and also a threat. What's up, brother? Good morning. And yeah, good morning. I'm gonna eat this parfait. Oh, I only got 15 more minutes. But as my best friend said, she's like, excessive, bro. It was totally excessive for people to be overly emotional in front of strangers. You know? Crying multiple times. Even my friends are like, hey, don't be sad. Don't cry. You're beautiful. And my whole life, people told me I'm not beautiful. And it's just like, why are we talking about this when I first met you? Why aren't we talking about how great the weather is? Why aren't we talking about what we're doing with our lives? And she kept saying, I want to know everything. I want to know everything about your print shop. I want to know everything. And I'm like, oh, you're trying to get to know me? Yeah. You know what I mean? That's too much, bro. It took me 10,000 hours to figure out printing, and you want me to teach you everything? I still have my friend Lauren call me up and go, Mark, you're supposed to teach me. I want to learn. She learned on her own. She's like, I know how to do design now. I learned it myself and print. I'm like, good, there you go. Same thing my friend told me when I said, I want to pick your brain. She's like, why would I give you all the things that I learned? You got to earn. You got to earn this knowledge. You got to earn this self-containment. You got to earn this stability. And some people just don't want to see stability. They need psychiatry. They need medicine. They be taking pills to control their mind, and I haven't had a pill since I was 19. So lithium, Zoloft, Wellbutrin, whatever other fucking SSRI and serotonin reuptake inhibitors or whatever pills you're on to keep your mood straight, I'm on some fucking sunshine. I got summer on the inside. I got my friends that fucking love me. I love my life! You know, they support me. They showed me so much love, dude. Their whole family. Like, now you got to meet Jonas' family, and like they love me, and they got, what they say, 17 grandkids, and the other one's got fucking 11 grandkids, and the whole family was so introducing me. It was so lovely to meet you. And even the mom, so she didn't want a handshake. She wanted a hug, and they were partying like they were 20, and they got their cool kid shirts on, and it was just such a good vibe. And then I come outside, and it was like back to her vibe. You know what I mean? Like, you got to watch these excessive heat warnings where it's like, okay, this has changed degrees. You know, I was in the breeze, sitting in the shade, enjoying my friends. People are complimenting me on my shirt, taking photos, saying they're going to model for me. I got a bunch of follows on Instagram. I got a bunch of compliments. I must have got like 7 compliments on the shirt. I'm going to rock it again. I should have been selling shirts out there, but it said I'm trying to fucking find a girl that's outside of the festival to get her inside the festival so I can get her a $300 bracelet that she's not even on time for, or seems to always find a way to not be at the right place. So, hey, we all have a choice, but it's your choice to say what kind of degrees you want to live in, you know? Do you want to live in that hot element? Do you want to live where people are fucking always losing their temper, always walking away, always finding a problem, using the word problem, and still haven't found their own solution? I wouldn't switch my position with her. That's not my thing. I wouldn't switch my situation for hers. There's no way I would like to go backwards when I was 30, when I first started traveling the world, where I was doing cocaine and I had the career, I had the car, I had the condo, I thought I was happy, and I was like, this is my life. I'm living here in Vegas, make $100,000 a year, and that'll be it. Well, guess what, bro? I would have never met all these awesome friends. I would have never been able to learn about Finland. I would have never been able to learn about Thailand, and I would have never been able to learn about myself. That was the biggest thing to achieve on my world journeys, was the way I interact with people. I'm a CEO of an international business, bro. I don't have time to my meat, my money, energy, attention, and time to stop the show for someone that uses the word problems, or is always a problem, or always sticking out. There's excessive heat. When we would sell cars, when I sold cars, we had a term called heat. Heat is when a customer comes in hot. They came in because they didn't like their deal, they're pissed off, there's a scratch, it wasn't washed right, complaining people, you know what it is, but that's your heat. You got to go take care of your heat. Some people don't know how to turn down their temperature. They don't know how to slow themselves down. They don't know how to fucking regulate, bro. And this is what it's all about. It's all about mental regulation. And that's what we got to do, bro. We got to be focused on our mental regulation. Very cute, very cute. And see that we can control ourselves instead of looking for other people to listen to us for our psychology. No one cares. You know what I mean? Hear about how your parents used to treat you. All that shit should probably be said in AA, NA, and in front of a PhD psychologist. You know what I mean? This is the things that you did, not strangers that you just met that are trying to enjoy their fucking awesome weather in the summer, instead of hearing about you till 6 a.m. Wait, nope, didn't get any sleep. Oh, wait, go do the photo shoot. Oh, wait, too nervous, quit. Oh, wait, look, gotta go to the house. Oh, wait, no, we gotta go back to the house. Oh, wait, my dog. Oh, wait, no, I need drinks. Oh, wait, let's go here, 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 and here. And I was like, we're so close, dude. We kiss good. Oh, well, at least I thought we kissed good. And then it was just like, okay, you're using too much tongue. And I'm like, really, bitch? Like, you're getting particular about the way I kiss? That's also a red flag, bro. People that complain over a blessing. I used to do the same about food. I would pick it apart as soon as it got in front of me. Instead of being appreciative, I would be like, oh, this is too spicy, or it's missing something. And then guess what? I wasn't happy. So there's a lot of people out there that aren't happy on the inside. I'm not trying to chase positions with them. I'm not trying to stoop to that level. I sat off to the side, smoked a blunt, or smoked a spliff, waited for her to clear out. I'm glad she wasn't here, because I was afraid the way we would interact. To just even hand her battery pack back could have been a police situation, could have been a break through a window, could have been another argument. We couldn't communicate for shit. And I actively tried. Even pulled her to the side. She didn't want to sit right next to me. She's like 5 yards away, smoking her vape. I'm like, here, smoke this. I'm like, can I smoke with you? She puts it in a jar. She has a jar for all of her ends. And I was like, where'd it go? She's like, you know what? Dumped it out in her hand with all the old ashes and buds and go, here it is. And then she even gave me the wrong one. You know what I mean? It wasn't even the right joint, and it was some other joint. And I'm just like, okay, lady, you know what I mean? What do you want from me? She's like, I want my battery pack. I was like, let's go get you that. And we walked about a whole kilometer back, not even talking to each other, walking it. That's very lovely. Not even looking at each other. There's so many beautiful women everywhere, bro. And my issue is I let the psycho ones get too much attention. I'm not trying to fix them. I'm not Captain Save-A-Ho. It's not my fucking job to go, especially at a festival where there's more beautiful women that I've seen, young, fertile, and ready to go in the sunshine, than somebody that's wearing the darkness, seems to have an issue, can't keep walking, crumbles down every time something goes their way. I mean, literally cries, sit, and start crumbling. And it's just like, okay, excessive heat warning, That's too hot. And as we say in the hood, that's too much sauce, bro. It's like too much sugar in the Kool-Aid, man. Too much is too much, like me and my mom say, not another plate. If you could put another plate, I need someone that brings me peace, not somebody that wants to argue with me or argues about the word. The word that I'm using is argue. Like, don't use. It's not an argument. Like, I can't even say the word argue without getting an argument, right? You know what I mean? It's just like, it's excessive. Excessive crying, excessive arguments, excessive ignoring. It was all those things and then some. So she was telling me that I missed an opportunity, and I'm telling her I think I dodged a bullet. You know what I mean? I dodged a bullet. I was getting involved with somebody that has had too many sexual experiences, tried to regulate her nervous system through sex. I've already been a sex addict, you know what I mean? Can't stop smoking nicotine and can't stop crying when she talks about difficult things. And I was just like, that's your excessive heat warning. It's like your fuel gauge being low, or your car overheating before steam comes out of your ear or from the hood. You need to watch this shit and go, this is what's going on. You know, I'm watching as I'm going down the hill in the slalom of all the red flags that I'm trying to dodge, and they're hitting my helmet and go like, Mark, you should be warned. Mark, you should be warned. And I even wonder, I was like, I'm always on these psycho bitches with daddy issues, or needs more attention, or so narcissistic that they think it's all about them, or maybe neurotic where they don't mind breaking down and crying in front of strangers, or checking on their dogs, or I don't know, maybe talking to their cats. I'm not quite sure, but it's a lot, dude. And a lot is too much, and too many plates will make you drop the plate. When we were waiters, my mom was a waitress, and I've done some food and beverage where you place a bottle or a glass in the wrong position, everything falls down, everything splashes, broken glass everywhere, and that's what ended up happening. It was just all broken, and it only took 48 hours to figure it out, but the whole 48 hours was warning, warning, warning. I'm like, I should get away from you, I should be sleeping. I got to get away from you. And by the end, it was like I was kind of done babysitting the dogs. I was kind of done being the dog handler. I was kind of done with the breaks every so often. I was kind of done with the blame game. I was kind of done with the past lives. I was kind of done. I was done with it all. I was over it. So I'm glad I got to smoke and be away from her. I'm glad she wasn't hit the shot blowing up my spot. I gave her stuff back, and now she can go off into the sunset, live her life. I leave you where I found you, and go be free. I didn't want to switch any positions with you. You know what I mean? Like I want to keep living my blessed life where their families are inviting me into their homes. They're so loving and caring. They even switched to English for me. My friends are over in VIP. His brother is on stage. They're pointing out their parents. They're fucking rocking. My buddy, we did 19 exit signs for this festival, and because my buddy owns the print shop, he only made one phone call. He's like, I'm gonna only make one phone call, and he's wasted. And Yoni sure as shit came through and said, what's his name? Mark Saint. Boom, baby, boom. And that was it. I knew I was getting in. I got my own bracelet, walked right in. The fucking festival was really smooth. People were smiling. Everybody was shining. Most people were dressing the same. Girls were looking amazing. The see-through pants with the fucking G-strings, and the hot weather, and the tans, and then staring at each other, and the stopping me and complimenting me for my shirt, and all that stuff. It makes me feel good. Even the little kid that was like 13 collecting cans, his little sister, you missed this one, Juice, she gave me a thumbs up. She's like, I like your shirt like this. Then her brother's like, don't you find that offensive? He had some pretty good English. And I said, don't be afraid, kid. I said, it's called art. You know what I mean? But I'm from Vanta, and I love Vanta. And I was like, but is it perfect? And he's like, no, nothing's perfect. No city around the world's are perfect. And I was like, exactly my point. So he kept it pushing. He's like, I just wanted an open dialogue. I had a fucking full-on conversation with a 14-year-old about my art and my artist interpretation about a word I didn't even create. So it's all fun. It's all love, dude. I fucking love being outside. I love this weather. I love these people, and I'm having the time of my life. It's the reason I'm on overstay, is to fucking enjoy the passing of time. That's what real life is about. It's enjoying the passing of time, enjoying the people that are around you, keeping that good vibe. I'm so grateful that I have the vibe, that my friends get to come up in the morning, bring me the fruit bowl that I was asking for yesterday, smoke me out, chill out, fucking hear me out, and even answer the phone when it's like 5 o'clock in the morning. There's no fridge. I'll eat it right now. And that's it. That's the morning motivation. It's an excessive heat warning here in Finland, and those beautiful girls with their beautiful asses and belly buttons pierced and psychoanalytics. It's all of those things, dude. I was just like, oh my god, bro, Mark, you really like to fucking the wildest roller coasters, and that's the truth of it. So I have to identify myself when I need to stop. I practice the halt system. When I was hungry, angry, lonely, or tired, I stop. If it's going to be like that, if I'm screaming across the bridge from some girl that won't stop or meet me halfway, it's already time for you to go your own way. And I did. I said goodbye. And then this morning I woke up 4 o'clock in the morning and it was a goodbye mark. So that's my goodbye mark. And I'm going to go bye. Peace and love. You already know. And as always, Chigathon. That means goodbye, but not forever in Phoenix. And I will see you on the other side as soon as you like, share, and subscribe. The other side of your fear, the other side of your excuses, and the other side of the world, baby. Because that's where I be. Peace.